These are the voyages of the starship Enterprise.
Star Trek cast, then and now. No one needs an introduction to this legendary film, and if you don't know what Star Trek is, or you've never seen this legendary film series, then wow, you're really missing out on a lot. Star Trek is one of the greatest films we have ever seen, and it will definitely remain so for a very long time. Our video today isn't focused on the TV series, however, but the cast of the film series, and what they've been doing since the last film in this series was released, whose career picked up, and whose career died off, who got married, and of course, who got involved in a scandal. If you're curious to get the answers to these questions, then make sure you watch till the end of this video. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button and become a member of this amazing family. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. Walter Koenig. Koenig played the role of Pavel Chekhov.
Some more blood, Chekhov. A needle wound hurt, Chekhov. Take off your shirt, Chekhov.
Who first appeared as a young and naive ensign, but later got promoted to lieutenant, then the ship's tactical officer, and chief of security. It is said that he even reaches the rank of admiral and was the commander-in-chief of Starfleet in the novel series. He exhibits a high level of intelligence, and is even almost equal to Spock in some areas. Koenig started acting in the mid-1960s, but he didn't rise to prominence until he landed the role of Pavel Chekhov in 1967. Koenig revealed in an interview that there were two actors being considered for the role, but he was picked almost immediately due to his resemblance to a British actor and singer named Davy Jones. After his rise to fame, he starred in several other films, and even dabbled in script writing for a while. He has been married to Judy Leavitt since 1965, and together they had two children, a son named Andrew and a daughter Danielle. Unfortunately, Andrew committed suicide in 2010, but Danielle is married to Jimmy Pardo, a comedian. Nichelle Nichols. Nichelle was cast as Nyota Uhura.
Security sweeps of all decks are negative, Mr. Spock.
The ship's translations and communications officer. She specialized in cryptography, linguistics, and philology. She joined the crew as a lieutenant, and had enough knowledge to man the helm, science, and navigation stations when she had to. When she was not manning the communication station and breaking codes, she could be found serenading her crewmates, as she was a very talented singer. She was also the first black character to be cast in this franchise. Before she was cast in Star Trek, Nichelle was already an established actress, after her breakthrough role as the voluptuous campus queen named Hazel Sharp in Kicks & Co. Here she caught the attention of Hugh Hefner, the publisher of Playboy, and her modeling career took off. After Star Trek, she appeared in several other films like Lady Magdalene's, Heroes, and Kindred. She is also a very talented singer, dancer, and voice artist, with so many productions to her name. From 1977 to 2015, Nichols volunteered for NASA programs, helping recruit astronauts, especially women, and people from ethnic minorities. In 2015, she suffered a mild stroke at her Los Angeles home and had to spend some time at the hospital before she was cleared and discharged. In 2018, she was with dementia and announced her retirement from convention appearances late this year. DeForest Kelly. DeForest Kelly appeared as the confident and sometimes loud Dr. Leonard McCoy.
Jim, you can't risk your life on a theory.
He was the ship's chief medical officer and was responsible for the health of members of the crew. He was very fond of Captain Kirk, and was always arguing with Spock, mainly because he didn't trust technology so much, and Spock seemed to love it. He was also known as Bones, and there are a million reasons for that name. After Star Trek, Kelly continued to earn over $196,000 in today's money annually, just from appearing at Star Trek conventions. His final live-action film appearance was in Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country, in 1991, where he was paid $1 million for his work. He later developed an interest in poetry and published two books titled The Big Bird's Dream and The Dream Goes On. Our man must really like dreams. On June 11, 1999, Kelly died of stomach cancer at the age of 79. But before his death, he was awarded a Golden Boot Award for his contribution to the genre of Western television and movies, and stated that his greatest legacy was that he was able to inspire several people to become doctors through his character Dr. McCoy. Leonard Nimoy. Nimoy was cast as Spock.
Yes, I believe no permanent damage was done.
What happened?
The occipital area of my head seems to have impacted with the arm of the chair.
The science officer and first officer, and also Captain Kirk's right-hand man. He was more rational and logical compared to the spontaneous Kirk, and thus maintained the balance on the ship. He is half human and half Vulcan, which explains his superior intellect and eerily calm nature. Nimoy portrayed this character for nearly 50 years, starting from 1964, when the pilot episode was released, till his final performance in 2013. Of course, he had other film roles in movies like Alpha Caper, Baffled, and Marco Polo. He also appeared in a few stage productions including Camelot, The King and I, and My Fair Lady. He revealed that after playing the character of Spock for an average of 13 hours daily, 5 days a week, he found himself behaving more like Spock, more logical, calm, thoughtful, and rational in every situation. It would usually wear off by Sunday afternoon, only for him to get back in character on Monday, and the cycle continues. Even after the show ended, he continued to observe the Vulcan's speech patterns, logic, even suppression of his own emotions in his behavior. He was also an alcoholic and ended up in drug rehab while working on Star Trek, and even tried to help William Shatner's alcoholic wife get over her addiction. In February 2014, Nimoy revealed that he had been diagnosed with chronic obstructive pulmonary disorder, a consequence of his days of being a chain smoker 30 years earlier. On February 25, 2015, he fell into a coma and died on February 27th, at the age of 83, as a result of COPD. After his death, his son Adam Nimoy directed a documentary on his life, with the title For the Love of Spock. William Shatner. Before Star Trek, Shatner was famous for his role in an iconic Twilight Zone episode, Nightmare at 20,000 Feet, in which he played a man recently released from a mental hospital who becomes convinced he can see a creature on the wing of the plane he's flying on. It aired in 1963, 3 years before Star Trek. Though he's 89 years old, Shatner has shown no signs of slowing down. After Star Trek was canceled in 1969, he briefly returned to voice Kirk for the Star Trek animated series. In 1979, he again reprised his role as Kirk in Star Trek The Motion Picture. He'd continue to do so regularly until 1994's Star Trek Generations. He even directed one of the Star Trek movies, Star Trek V: The Final Frontier. Other roles that you might recognize Shatner from: a pageant host in Miss Congeniality, Attorney Dennis Crane in The Practice, and its spin-off Boston Legal, for which he won 2 Emmys, and in the 2016-2018 reality show Better Late Than Never, in which Shatner, Henry Winkler, George Foreman, and Terry Bradshaw traveled around the world and experienced different cultures. And that brings us to the end of our video today. If you have enjoyed this video, hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any updates from us. See you soon!